The history of humanity is a tale of extraordinary achievement, relentless curiosity, and perseverance. From our humble beginnings as hunter-gatherers struggling to survive in the wild to building rockets, creating the internet, and setting our sights on colonizing other planets, humans have made remarkable strides over millennia. Our journey from being just another species in the ecosystem to dominating life on Earth is a testament to our ingenuity, cooperation, and determination. The story of humanity is not just about survival. It is about transformation, innovation, and the drive to explore new horizons. Our story begins around 200,000 years ago with the emergence of Homo sapiens, our species. At that time, we shared the planet with several other human species or hominins. Among the most well-known of these were Homo erectus, often called the upright man, and Homo neanderthalensis, commonly referred to as Neanderthals. The scientific consensus is that all these species, including Homo sapiens, descended from a common ancestor that evolved approximately 2.5 million years ago. Genetic evidence suggests that these hominin species not only crossed paths but also occasionally interbred, leaving traces of their genes in modern humans. Yet today, Homo sapiens are the only remaining human species. The question arises, what happened to the rest of the hominins? The answer is still debated by scientists. Some theories attribute their extinction to rapid changes in climate that made survival difficult, while others point to more violent causes, such as competition with Homo sapiens. Archaeological evidence, including mass graves and skulls with signs of trauma, suggests that early humans may have violently outcompete their counterparts. Another possibility is that these species didn't go extinct in the traditional sense but rather merged into Homo sapiens through interbreeding. Regardless of the cause, by 15,000 years ago, Homo sapiens were the only human species walking the Earth. For much of our early history, humans were just another link in the food chain. We were bipedal primates, not much more significant than the other animals participating in the ecosystem. So, what allowed us to rise to a position of dominance over the planet? The answer lies in a series of crucial developments, each building on the last, that fundamentally changed our relationship with the natural world and each other. One of the first significant changes was the mastery of bipedal locomotion. Standing and walking on two legs allowed early hominins to use their arms for other tasks, such as toolmaking, but this advantage did not immediately propel us to dominance. For millions of years, early humans remained relatively insignificant players in the larger ecosystem. What truly set us apart was not walking on two legs, but the discovery and eventual control of fire. Evidence of hominin interactions with fire dates back around 1.5 million years. Initially, early humans added fuel to naturally occurring fires to keep them burning. It would take nearly 1 million more years before we learned to start fires ourselves, an achievement that changed everything. Fire provided warmth, light, and protection from predators and insects. Most importantly, it allowed humans to cook food. Cooked food is easier to digest, and anthropologists like Richard Wrangham have posited that this development may have freed up energy in our bodies, allowing more resources to be allocated to brain development. This, Wrangham argues, could have been a critical factor in the development of complex language. But fire alone did not transform Homo sapiens into the dominant species. According to historian Yuval Noah Harari, it was a cognitive revolution around 70,000 years ago that truly set Homo sapiens apart. During this period, humans developed the ability to communicate complex information, which allowed for large-scale cooperation. Other species can communicate about immediate needs, such as threats or mating, but Homo sapiens began to communicate about abstract concepts. We started to share ideas about things that did not exist in the tangible world, myths, deities, and collective fictions. These collective fictions enabled Homo sapiens to cooperate with strangers on a large scale. In small groups, trust is based on personal relationships, but in larger societies, trust must be based on shared beliefs. Harari suggests that gossip, the act of talking about others, may have been one of the most powerful tools Homo sapiens developed. Even today, much of human society is based on shared beliefs in things like human rights, money, and laws. These are not tangible, but they are essential for organizing complex societies. This ability to cooperate with large numbers of people was a major factor in Homo sapiens' eventual dominance over the planet. As Homo sapiens spread across Africa and eventually out into Europe, Asia, Australia, and the Americas, they encountered new environments and challenges. The reasons for this migration are not entirely clear, but environmental pressures, such as droughts and food shortages, likely played a role. This migration was far from peaceful. As Homo sapiens moved into new areas, they encountered endemic megafauna, large animals that had evolved without human predators. Many of these species were hunted to extinction, either through direct hunting or competition for resources. Around 12,000 years ago, something incredible happened. In multiple locations around the world, humans independently began to cultivate plants and domesticate animals. This was the beginning of the agricultural revolution, a development that would transform human society. Before this, humans had been nomadic hunter-gatherers, moving from place to place in search of food. With agriculture, people could settle in one place, leading to the development of permanent villages and eventually cities. The agricultural revolution did more than just stabilize the food supply. It allowed humans to specialize. In hunter-gatherer societies, everyone needed to participate in the search for food. But with a stable food supply, not everyone needed to be involved in farming. This allowed people to take on other roles, artisans, warriors, and caregivers, for example. Over time, these specialized roles contributed to the development of more complex societies. As these societies grew, they developed culture, customs, and traditions. Perhaps most importantly, they developed writing. The emergence of written text is what distinguishes prehistory, the time before written records, from history, the time after. The oldest written records, discovered in Egypt, are about 5,000 years old. Writing allowed humans to pass down knowledge across generations, making it possible to build on the discoveries and innovations of the past. As human societies grew more complex, they also became more hierarchical. The ability to produce surplus food meant that some people could accumulate wealth, which in turn led to the development of social classes. These early societies often organized themselves around shared religious beliefs, with rulers claiming divine authority. But while these shared beliefs allowed for unprecedented cooperation and achievements, they also had darker consequences. Humanity's capacity for large-scale collaboration has led to some of our greatest achievements, but it has also led to some of our greatest atrocities. The same belief systems that united large groups of people also created divisions. Wars, genocide, and enslavement became increasingly common as societies competed for resources and power. Philosophers like Thomas Hobbes have argued that humans are inherently self-interested and competitive, and that society requires strong authorities to keep this brutish nature in check. Others, like Jean-Jacques Rousseau, believed that large societies corrupted the natural goodness of humans, creating inequality and social division. Regardless of which view is more accurate, one thing is clear: the complexity of human societies has grown exponentially over time. Today, we live in a world that would be unrecognizable to our prehistoric ancestors. And while this complexity has brought incredible advancements, it has also led to challenges that we are still struggling to solve. One of the most significant developments in recent history was the scientific revolution. Beginning in Europe in the 16th century, the scientific revolution radically changed our understanding of the universe, the Earth, and our place in it. This new way of thinking, based on empirical observation and experimentation, replaced the superstitions that had previously dominated human thought. The scientific revolution paved the way for the Age of Enlightenment in the 18th century, a period during which reason and science were seen as the keys to improving the human condition. The scientific revolution also led to the Industrial Revolution, a period of unprecedented technological advancement and economic growth. New inventions, such as the steam engine and the spinning jenny, revolutionized production, allowing humans to create more goods than ever before. But this new industrial economy also had significant consequences. Factories required large amounts of labor, and as a result, people moved from rural areas to cities in search of work. The Industrial Revolution also marked the beginning of large-scale exploitation of natural resources, as humans extracted coal, oil, and other materials to power their machines. While the Industrial Revolution brought great wealth and progress, it also introduced new challenges. The rapid growth of industry led to pollution, deforestation, and other environmental problems that we are still grappling with today. The burning of fossil fuels, in particular, has contributed to climate change, one of the greatest challenges humanity has ever faced. The economic system that emerged during the Industrial Revolution, capitalism, has been both a driver of progress and a source of inequality. According to economic anthropologist Jason Hickel, the rise of capitalism required the destruction of self-sufficient economies and the creation of artificial scarcity. Hickel points to the British Enclosure Acts as an example of this process. Between 1604 and 1914, the British Parliament passed a series of acts that enclosed common land, converting it into private property. This forced many people who had previously relied on the commons for their livelihoods to offer their labor to landowners or move to the cities in search of work. The desire for economic expansion wasn't limited to national borders. European powers, driven by the need for new markets and resources, colonized much of the world during this period. Colonization brought immense wealth to Europe, but often at the expense of the colonized peoples, who were exploited for their labor and resources. The legacy of colonization, including economic inequality and racial discrimination, is still felt today. In the 20th century, humanity experienced two world wars that caused unprecedented destruction and loss of life. These wars, along with the development of nuclear weapons, forced humans to confront the destructive potential of their own technologies. At the same time, the 20th century also saw incredible advancements in science, medicine, and technology, such as the development of antibiotics, the invention of computers, and the exploration of space. Today, humanity stands at a crossroads. We have the technological ability to solve many of the world's problems, from hunger to disease to climate change. But doing so will require unprecedented cooperation on a global scale. As we look to the future, the question remains, can humanity rise to the challenge? Can we build a world that is more just, sustainable, and equitable? Or will we continue down the path of environmental destruction and inequality? The story of humanity is still being written. We are the authors of our future, and the choices we make today will shape the world for generations to come. One thing is certain, the same curiosity, creativity, and determination that have brought us this far will continue to drive us forward into the unknown.